Hello everybody and welcome to this indie zombie vlog review. Today I'm going to be talking very briefly, or at least try to anyway, about this new, actually I don't know how new it is, but it's new to me anyway, Moonlighter on the PS4. I've only played this game for probably about 4 hours. I do like it enough, but I find it a tad too tedious to really be able to recommend or bother to complete. It is a roguelike dungeon crawler where you are a merchant, and whatever stuff you find off of monsters or treasure chests, you can use to either sell at your shop, or when you gain enough capital, you can expand the town to build other merchant places like a weapon place, eventually a potions and magic place, and then another item shop where they can find special items for you, and then basically you can learn how to, well, you can't yourself, but you can gather the materials you need in order to get brand new items made for you by, the weapon smith or by the potion person. What is nice especially is that if there's anything in particular you're looking for, you can add it to a favorites list in your menu, so that when you go dungeon crawling, you can just go through and see, okay, what all do I need, and you can go into your favorites list to see exactly what more of a particular ingredient you need for that. What was kind of annoying, and this I guess was obviously on me, but I thought that when I was trying to get the gloves made, I thought I was getting some additional armor, but I guess it was another form of a weapon, so that kind of sucked. Getting the training bow eventually kind of sucked because that did less damage than the spear that I at one point got, so I just ended up kind of sticking with the spear. It is nice to be able to have a long distance weapon. It would have been nicer if it obviously did more damage, but that's on me. I like the dungeon crawling aspect, just in that the layout of the map changes and items don't necessarily change either, but obviously the amount of them will change, and I guess whether it's rare, maybe making it more expensive if you were going to sell it. What is nice especially is that at one point you get a couple of special items. Pretty early on you get one special item where you can run items through this magnifying glass in your bag and it will just turn it into gold, because if you want to leave the dungeon at any time, you have to teleport and you have to spend a certain amount of money, usually like 200 gold, in order to leave. So you can't really leave until you have that much money, which I didn't realize at first, but eventually after you get used to everything that you're doing, it becomes pretty easy. After you defeat each boss, you can go deeper and deeper into the dungeon and it gets harder, and obviously whatever you pick up will become something new or something better or probably even more rare, and obviously the enemies will get a lot tougher. I only got about as far as getting to dungeon depth 3. I like the combat. It's pretty Zelda-ish. You do have a nice little dodge roll that does make you invulnerable to just about anything. It allows you to go over gaps and pretty much dodge, just about any enemy attack, but it's only good for like a second. But it's pretty good even against bosses. Like once you master it, it can make a first or second level boss really easy. Obviously, especially if you have a pretty powerful spear like I did at one point. It does just get a tad tedious when you're wanting one specific ingredient in order to get a new item, or when you blow through all your money just to try and get an item like I did at one point, trying to getting the bow and then getting the gloves and finding out like, oh, these suck. Okay, well that's great. And actually when I got to the third dungeon, I picked up a new special item that allowed me so that I could teleport back to the dungeon that I had just left, so like a teleporter save spot, but it just costs a lot more money. There was one thing I discovered, and I'm not entirely sure what triggers it, either if you're spending too much time in the dungeon or if you spend too much money turning whatever items you find into money, where this really powerful slime being appears and starts following you around. Like it'll even appear during boss fights. I mean, I know I couldn't kill it at the current level that I was at, where I didn't really even try fighting it, because one hit from it with me at full health killed me. I mean, I imagine you can get stronger at one point. I think I would have liked this maybe a little bit more if you were able to maybe craft, some of these weapons or armor yourself, opposed to having to have other people do it. I do like the idea, obviously, of you having your own shop. The story idea seems pretty fun. I mean, other than that, there's really not that much of a point, in terms of this town, just because of like all the other people that are there, because obviously the only people that will visit your shop are customers and whatnot, and and you can set prices and whatnot for stuff that you sell, you want to be careful about what prices you set at stuff, or else otherwise people won't buy it, or people's emotions will kind of show about how they feel. Like either they'll get excited, or they'll be happy, or they'll be maybe a tad disappointed, but they'll still buy it, but they'll have a disappointment about, oh, this is a little bit too much, you know, for what this is. And yeah, so that was kind of interesting, but I don't know. I mean, I wonder if at all how different that is from when you're just in the dungeons, you know, because at one point I was just bookmarking items I only specifically needed for stuff that I wanted to be able to buy later, you know, like certain weapons, certain armor, certain potions and stuff like that, and everything else I would just turn into money, you know, with my other magnifying glass, or if I thought maybe it was rare or good enough or high enough in popularity, I would maybe keep to sell. But your inventory stash is so small, you can spend more money in order to advance your shop and eventually expand how many items you can sell at your shop or even hold, but that takes a lot of time and a shit ton of money. I didn't even get to that point, and I just kind of got tired of it. If you have any interest in this, you can certainly check it out. It is going on sale for right now for only $7, so I got it on pretty cheap. But please let me know what you think in the comments section. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like or subscribe. I would really appreciate it. Special thanks to my editor Nicholas, as always, for editing these. Links are all in the description down below. Follow me on Twitter, support me on Patreon. If you enjoyed my content, I would really appreciate it. See you next time.